Check 1 2 3. Check 1 2 3. Check 1 2 3. I'm thinking there's got to be some parents out there, right? And if you are a parent, you know how I'm feeling. There are frustrating moments and moments in the day, and maybe at the end of the day, where you're like, I think I failed today as a parent, or in this moment, or in this situation. And again, I think I just kind of being transparent, or just sharing some thoughts again about what the week looks like. And really, I think being a parent is one of the hardest things that you can do, the most rewarding. I mean, we still have young children, so we don't know what they're going to be like as adults, but what we hope for is that we teach them good values, good morals, follow Christ, and do what they love, hopefully, right? Or find a passion or a hobby or something of that nature, right? Marry, have kids, have adventures, laugh, cry, the whole nine. Essentially, aka live life, right? We just really hope and pray that they can live their life in a manner that we, would deem not worthy, but that would be of value to others as well, right? I think that's really what our life really comes down to in a lot of ways, is that we're trying to teach them to be able to be productive with their life, to be able to provide value, to give, right? Rather than to receive, and to be able to extend, a hand, right? And be able to teach and mentor and be mentored, really. I mean, just as they develop, right? As they learn and they find their interests, they find their friends, they find whatever it is that, again, their hobbies, whatever interests look like. And I think this whole journey, right? We're still relatively early in this journey, is being able to maneuver them through life and, control the emotions, or not control, but how would I say it? Like, be able to have, not control, what am I trying to say? In the sense of like understanding their emotions, their anger, their joy, their frustrations, be able to reflect on that, right? And have some understanding of what that looks like, and be able to, be angry, but not, let that anger end in a negative consequence or a negative action, right? And I think that's really what especially I think, for me personally, it's how are they going to be out in the world amongst other people, and how do I want them to be treated and seen, right? I don't want them to be out there and it's like, oh no, they're showing up, or oh no, they're, their kid, so-and-so's kids there, or what have you, right? I don't want them to be a nuisance, essentially, right? I want them to show up somewhere and it's like, hey, they're here, that's awesome, like, love when they're around, right? And I think in that is sort of like my, right, you can say from my upbringing, that's maybe the thoughts, or that's the vibe that I was getting. It's like, oh no, like, he's showing up, right? So I think in that, maybe this is sort of a confession, right, in terms of like my upbringing, and maybe that's why I'm, so hard on them, right? I think all of us, whatever that is for you, I'm sure everyone has their thing that they're trying to, compensate for, right? It's hard because we're trying to manage that, but also manage their emotions and our emotions at the same time. And we are their mirror, if you will. Obviously, they have our DNA, they have our characteristics, all that. But at the same time, they're learning from us. They're looking at us and seeing how we react, how we speak, and all that. So I think that's where it's frustrating, because we know that's the influence that we have on them. And so we always, for me, reflecting and thinking like, man, like, could have, done that better, could have been more, polite or patient and soft. But then it's like, you want to be stern enough to be able to say, no, there's consequences to their bad behavior. But then you also want them to know why that bad behavior leads to negative consequences, right? because later in life, again, they're going to grow up and they're going to make decisions, and there's going to be negative consequences, and they need to know, yes, if I do X, the outcome is Y, and if I do A, the outcome is B, good or bad, right? So in this, what I'm trying to say is, again, we're all trying. We're not perfect. We need to extend grace to others and to ourselves, and not, beat ourselves up. But, each day is new, right? Each day gives us an opportunity to try and do better in whatever area that may look like. And hopefully it is better, and hopefully we can teach them something, and hopefully down the line we can reap what we have sown, right? And I think that's really what I want to impart on all those parents that are listening. Maybe you're around my age, right? Have young children, what have you, or maybe your kids are grown. You can connect with this in some way, right? Or you don't have kids and you're thinking about kids, right? It's an incredible journey for sure, and I think it is worth taking if you're wanting that, right? It's something you're gonna have to brace for. There's no doubt about that. But in any case, I appreciate anyone that's listened and has taken the time. I know everyone's busy, so I appreciate you stopping by. And with that, I bid you all adieu.